Yo, what's good? I'm back again, doing stuff that nobody else does. Because I'm the best at what I do. Now, this is a video, one of the first two videos, hopefully I will record tonight when I do this, that I promised a friend, okay? Because him and I, he knows who he is. Him and I, we get to talking about different things. And this actually sparked from a Thor discussion. I guess Thor's getting his powers back, something like that. Talking with Odin, and you know, I go into all these possibilities and things, you know, speculations, and trying to draw, you know, make sense of some of the foolishness that happens with DC and Marvel. Anyways, I was talking about it, and my mind went to different things. You know, in this case, it has to deal with Daredevil, Matt Murdock. Okay, and a relatively short that video in comparison to how long this video can actually be. We're talking about an entire essay worth, to say the least, an entire essay worth of material about, you could probably gather, hell, you could probably do an entire research paper, entire bibliography on Daredevil as a character, and how in-depth and how complex he is. But we're not getting into that this time. But I will argue, as I will go through what I wrote and kind of expound upon a few points about Daredevil's character. Okay, I had said probably the best character from a literary sense that Marvel made, thanks to the greatness of Stan Lee, is Daredevil Matt Murdock. Now that's already going to be a red flag. Now I know I'm a fan of Spider-Man Peter Parker. I mean, you got Doctor Doom, you have you name it. Okay, they got a slew of characters that can even bring up. But again, what did I say? From a literary sense. Okay, not your favorite. You know, I love Wolverine, the Incredible Hulk, Dr. Bruce Banner, and so many other characters. Okay, love them. But I also do love Daredevil. I'm going to push it. But hear me out. The conflict and contrast of Matt Murdock and what Daredevil actually symbolizes is quite possibly the most versatile and adaptive in fiction history. Now, what I mean by that is, who is Matt Murdock? Matt Murdock's a lawyer. He's all about the law. He represents a lot of times for the downtrodden. He's about justice through the system. Well, Daredevil goes completely opposite all that. Now, not to the point of where he's not for the downtrodden, but and if you go early when he's saving, but still, I mean, he uses violence. He's a vigilante. Take it for what it's worth. Inside the law, outside the law, but still the same man. Let's continue. Even Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Green Arrow, Oliver Queen have clear set limits. They do. Batman's one rule is not to kill. I mean, Daredevil doesn't kill either. And Green Arrow has his limits as well. The Punisher, Frank Castle, is fairly limited to the greatness of anti-hero and potentially anti-villain. What I mean by that is, we know the Punisher character is, he will kill. He will do what is necessary, or what he at least deems is necessary. No matter the body count, no matter the cost, he will get the job done. Daredevil generally doesn't push that for neither Batman, neither does Green Arrow. So take that for what it's worth. So Frank Castle, as much as you try to put him in and push him, phenomenal character in his own right, he is limited in the fact that he's stuck in that. But he will never go over the line to a villain, because what makes the Punisher's character is the fact of this moral ambiguity and how others perceive him rather than how he perceives himself. See, it's not the Punisher, Frank Castle, whoever Frank Castle is, the man doesn't matter. It's what the Punisher symbolizes. Difference between him and Daredevil. Daredevil, both his alter ego, Daredevil, and Matt Murdock, or vice versa, however you want to consider it, alter ego, they both fundamentally matter. For Batman, Bruce Wayne, it's kind of more of a 75 Batman matters, 25 Bruce matters, Green Arrow, Oliver Queen. It depends at which point you're referring to. Sometimes it's way more Oliver Queen matters, sometimes it's way more Green Arrow matters. But with Daredevil, 50-50, straight down the middle. Let's see what else we got here. Daredevil is a beautiful character because his very existence questions what is a human capable of, and allows for Matt Murdock unrestrained to plunge into moral ambiguity, which I've already highlighted to a degree. Daredevil is designed to go down any path of any character type. Pretty much, there is complete liberty and liberal thought. Not liberal like liberal in the United States' term, but liberal as in they can do anything they pretty much want to with the character. You can't do that with most, if not almost all characters. You have to have them within a certain character type, because, or else they go against the character. Superman, beautiful example. You take him out of the hero role, he's no longer Clark Kent, he's no longer Kal-El, he's no longer Superman. Anti-hero is very much pushing it, and I mean extremely pushing it. Villain, oh, it's no longer Superman. But with Daredevil, not necessarily the case. He, like Batman, is not a character that has the rule of, he, like Batman, is a character that has the rule, of not killing intentionally. Both could easily kill, but they don't. Which in of itself showcases self-control, discipline, and it in fact adds complexity to their characters. But with one small and important difference to the not killing part. Daredevil via Matt Murdock values the law. Bruce Wayne doesn't. And that valuing the law brings forth a whole slew of other conditions. Like we're going on some Hunter stats, right? Some main conditions. Laws are arbitrary and whimsical. Yes, they very much are. Which is why I'm against them. But that's a whole another discussion for another day. Now, this is, well, one of the reasons I'm against laws. Not rules, laws. Now, this gives the flexibility to whomever the author is. See, with other characters, other authors come in there and they just start screwing around with the character. And you gotta chalk it up to, an alternate dimension. Nope. Daredevil, nope. Unless, well, actually, no. Even if there's a 180 the next chapter, it still doesn't negate his character. We just gotta find out what happened. He or she can, as that can do as that person like, and it won't go against the character of Daredevil, because once again, he has more ambiguity, he's completely flexible to whatever his character is supposed to do. Originally, Stan Lee wrote him as a hero, who, unlike Spider-Man, was viewed as an asset to the Policia and was accepted because he played by the rules of society. Spider-Man has never been a hero. He's always been an anti-hero. He's always been a vigilante who was never accepted. Okay? When you look at it, also Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he's excellent in his own right, but he was also a teenager. By this time, Matt Murdock, I think it was 25, 26, if I'm not mistaken, Matt Murdock understood things. He understood the law better than anybody else, so he understood, how to cooperate with the cops. And so, even though he was technically breaking the law being Daredevil, he was helping them out a hell of a lot. He wasn't breaking the law like many other vigilantes, many other costume freaks, if you will. Taking from what some villains might say. Peter Parker, as I mentioned, was only a teenager at the time, so it makes sense that he could care less about such things. There were certain, subtleties that Spider-Man didn't embrace that Daredevil did, which is why Daredevil became viewed as a hero. Post-80s, Daredevil has rightfully evolved into an anti-hero, notably in the Netflix series. for not. If you've not checked out Daredevil, you need to get on that series. Just I've said nothing but great, spectacular things pretty much about the series. One of the greatest series I've ever witnessed in my life. Period. Season 2 better than season 1, and that's season 1 was truly phenomenal. Season 2 just blew my mind. But that's partially due to a more corrupt governmental system and much darker, more sinister adversaries that continue to push the man without fear, which is the nickname, the epithet of Daredevil, to his breaking point physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Pretty much just like this. Daredevil, the anti-hero, he continually has to deal with more serious threats, much darker in their nature and their character, and they force him to commit deeds that he, whether he wants to or not, are of the necessity. And Daredevil, being a man without fear, does whatever is necessary. Daredevil could easily be a villain depending on how warped the law becomes. See, that's the beauty. Daredevil, if he, goes, even though he goes against the law, he still rides with the law. So, if the law is warped, Daredevil goes, he does immoral acts. He's following the law, but they're very immoral acts. But also, you can kind of say that he's going away, maybe the law is so warped that Daredevil fights against it and is viewed as a villain. See, it's not just a matter of is he actually a villain, but also the perspective of what a villain is. Or Matt Murdock splitting his psyche away from his alter ego on some, maybe some Hulk status. At that point, there would be a few things that Daredevil wouldn't do. There would be very few things that Daredevil wouldn't do, Daredevil could easily be an anti-villain if he didn't care what means he had to attain victory, which is a very possible path that Matt Murdock could go down, especially in season 3 of Daredevil. He can also be a new breed of character alongside Luffy, lying somewhere outside of traditional confines of hero and anti-hero. Luffy, we don't know where his morality stands, and in fact, we don't fully know where Matt Murdock's morality stands. We know how his views on the law, we don't know exactly his views on morality. At least, I'd have to go back and do research to see if he talks about it specifically. Luffy is consistently entirely questionable in terms of morality, which he is. I've talked this in great length and great detail on numerous occasions and done videos about it in the past. We still don't know where his lies, talking about Luffy, and he has yet to even address it. Daredevil approaches that vagueness often. I need to make... Okay, now I'll talk about it for you. Like, when you look at Daredevil's character, man, he can be a hero, anti-hero, anti-villain, villain, and whatever he needs, the author decides, because he is, in essence, being the man without fear. That means there are very few limitations on him. His radar sense allows for a lot of other things that other characters do not have. It also puts him in perilous situations if he's blinded by it, or blinded from it, excuse me. When you look at it, the fact that he rocks with the law so heavily, that can easily mislead him. That can easily cause him to possibly go into some psychotic breakdown if, Daredevil versus Matt Murdock kind of situation. So there's so much to be done, and hopefully this video was a light touch on a much deeper subject. Do you think Daredevil is the best character in Marvel as far as story writing goes? It's quite possible, and I propose that he is. Unexpected Wonder, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. Who do you think is the best in Marvel? And tell me why. Please explain. And I'll check y'all later. Peace. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night.